We are inside 50 days from the start of a brand new NFL season. Tom Brady and the reigning Super Bowl champion Buccaneers will host the Cowboys to open the season on September 9th. Marks the return of Dak Prescott against seven-time Super Bowl champ Tom Brady. He and the Bucs getting their Super Bowl rings on this night. Prescott missed the final 11 games of the 2020 season after suffering a season-ending ankle injury in Week 5. Brady 5-0 in his career against Dallas. Just one of the tasty matchups in Week 1 of the NFL season. And keep in mind, we've got a 17-game regular season for the first time in NFL history. And speaking of history, Brady and the Bucs will try to be the first team to repeat as Super Bowl champs since the 03-04 Patriots led by Tom Brady. As for the team Brady and the Bucs beat in last year's Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs hosting Baker and the Browns in a rematch of last year's divisional playoff game. And one of the big offseason storylines we're all following, will Aaron Rodgers be playing for the Packers in Week 1 against New Orleans? Welcome in two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden and the Wizard of Odds Kenny White here to give us their best bets going into the new season. Brady and the Bucs kicking it off against Dak and the Cowboys. Tampa Bay's a 6.5-point favorite. The total's 51.5. Kenny, what's your approach in the kickoff game?
Yeah, I'm going to be on Tampa here in this one. I think obviously going to be a lot of excitement. Opening night, there always is. The Super Bowl champs playing at home. The Cowboys will have a lot of question marks. Dak being out for as long as he has been. The offensive line, the continuity, where is that at? The defense, a lot of new players on both sides of the football for Dallas. So there's a lot of uncertainty. It's going to take them some time to gel, to come together. I feel like Tampa, they're just a well-oiled machine to start the season. So, yeah, give me the Buccaneers on night one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, Kenny. When you look at the atmosphere, Tampa playing at home, the very first game of the NFL season, fans will be in attendance, filled to capacity to say the least. This is going to be an outstanding, entertaining game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because of all the points that Kenny just mentioned, not to mention a full offseason for Tom Brady to get acclimated with his offensive cast of stars. You get a healthy Gronkowski, a healthy Antonio Brown, guys who spent time away from the game, but now they're back in tune football shape-wise and defensively. A star after star after star on their defense on all three levels. And then when you transition to the Dallas Cowboys, I do believe their offense will be prolific. I do believe their offense will be consistent. But guys, what about their defense? They surrendered 29 points per ball game last year. They surrendered almost 160 yards on the ground defensively. So they improved a little bit personnel-wise, but how much improvement do we expect to see from the Dallas Cowboys on the defensive side, especially playing against an experienced, well-oiled machine in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? 6.5 for me is a given. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Buccaneers win by at least 10 points because I do believe their offense will have success for 4 quarters, and no question their defense will be able to get timely stops.
Kenny, do you expect some line movement as we get closer and closer to kickoff?
Well, the one thing, you have the Cowboys, and they are America's team, so they do get a lot of support. I could see this game closing 7, but I don't see it closing any higher than that. There are a lot of people that do like to bet against the Super Bowl champs, knowing they've got a target on their backs. But 7 would be the point where I think this one will close.
So if you like the Bucs, get it now. It's 6.5, according to Kenny and BMAC, and plenty of intriguing Week 1 matchups. I mean, shoot, you watch every game if you're an NFL fan. What's your best wager for Week 1? Something you want to attack right now, Kenny? Start with you.
Yeah, I'm going to take the New England Patriots -2.5 at home against Miami. I'm a little lower on Miami than everyone else. I still have question marks on Tua Tagovailoa, his arm strength, whether he is the guy in that offense. No Fitzpatrick to fall back on this year. The offensive line, I don't think as good as advertised. And the defense, I think, is down a little. I really think Bill Belichick and his team has done a great job of rebuilding, bringing in Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith at tight end. The offensive line is back. Second year with Cam Newton in the offense should be improved. But it's their defense that I really like. I think that the Patriots defense will be far better this year than last year, and they'll play some ball control. I think they should have been about 6 in this game over the Dolphins.
My best wager for week 1, Washington Football Club getting 1 point from the Los Angeles Chargers. And here's why. Riverboat Ron has been unbelievable the last 4 week 1 matchups. Outright in wins, 3-1. Not to mention he's coaching against a rookie head coach from the Chargers, a young quarterback that we all believe is the next great one. But playing against that defense that Washington has is going to be a difficult task for him. Not to mention traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast. So right now, seeing that the Washington Football Club, they're getting 1 point, I like them to win outright, and I believe they will be able to do so based on the coaching experience, not to mention that outstanding defense they have.
All right, let's now target your best win total to wager on for the season. First, we'll get the win total you like to go over. Then we'll get a win total you like to go under. I'll give you a nice trend to consider on the over. Kansas City's preseason win total is 12. The Chiefs have gone over their win total in all 8 seasons under Andy Reid. Kenny, do you like that trend to continue, or are you looking at another over that you like?
Yeah, that could definitely continue, but I don't like to go over that big of a number, so I'll pass on the Chiefs. I'm going to go over with the New Orleans Saints. Even without Drew Brees, we're in the after Brees years now. Jameis Winston, I believe, will be the starting quarterback. I think Jameis probably learned so much last year watching Drew Brees, how he operated in that system, and getting to play with Sean Payton, learning from him. The offensive line, I think, is one of the best in football. I think Alvin Kamara is going to have a monster year, and at 50-1, Alvin Kamara could win the MVP. The defense, I think, is very good. They did take a couple hits. Not sure what's going to happen with Marshawn Lattimore. He's worth a point to their team, and then I know they're on their defensive line. David Onyemata is out for the first 6 games, but at least they get him back. That was another point drop-off. But I think the Saint team's going to be very, very good. I'll go over 9 with them.
For me, the easiest pick when you look at the win total going over is Tampa, 11.5. I mean, 11.5. You got to get 12 wins. Not to mention there's an extra ball game in this NFL season. It's not 16 games, it's 17 games. You're playing against the best leader in the National Football League in Tom Brady, playing in a division that you don't have to worry about Drew Brees anymore, not knowing exactly what you will get from Carolina. And we know what the Atlanta Falcons have. They're trying to find out who they are and when it comes to a football identity. So I love the Tampa Bay Buccaneers being able to eclipse this 11.5 total. I'm surprised that it's only 11.5, but yes, book them to get at least 12 wins, not to mention that extra ball game. All 22 starters are returning. You better believe they will not be sleeping at the wheel this season. They're going to take every game like it's the last game, like it's a championship game, and they will be able to prevail and hit that 12-win plateau.
All right, now let's get a win total you like to go under, and BMAC loves to call it an under the covers wager. BMAC, what's the win total that you're snuggling up with that you see going under the total this season?
Yo, it's very, very difficult for me because you know I'm a fan of this quarterback, curly hair Russell Wilson. Their win total is at 10. I go under, and here's why. That division in the NFC West, they might as well rename that division the Group of Death. That's a very, very tough division to make it out of. You're talking about the Rams, the 49ers, the Arizona Cardinals. All of those teams that I mentioned, they've gotten better on both sides of the football. So just in the division alone, it's going to be a very, very difficult time for the Seattle Seahawks, not to mention what they have outside of the division. I love curly hair Russell Wilson. I still have my reservations about their defense and being able to put pressure on the quarterbacks they will see. But when you look at what they will go against in totality, just in their division alone, I know you have an extra week, but I don't know if they can get to 11 wins. So I go under when you look at their win total of 10.
I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins under. I got to pick on them. Brian Flores' team had a great year last year, but he's on his 3rd offensive coordinator in 3 years. That does not help out Tua Tagovailoa. And again, I just don't question the arm strength. I'm not sure if he's going to be that guy that we all expect him to be. The offensive line is well below average. The defensive line is well below average. And that's where football games are won in the trenches. Miami doesn't have either one. I think the Patriots are vastly improved this year. We know the Buffalo Bills are the best team in the division. That leaves Miami the 3rd best team. I cannot see them getting 10 wins. I'm going under 9. They got to get 10 to beat me, but I have them at 7.6 wins this year, under 9 for the Dolphins.
All right, let's target the Super Bowl champ. Chiefs are the favorites to win the Super Bowl, plus 500, while the defending champs are plus 650. Brady and the Bucs will try to be the first team to repeat as Super Bowl champs since the 03-04 Patriots led by Tom Brady. B-Mac, are you backing Brady and the Bucs to go back-to-back?
No question. Yes, I am. We all should back Tom Brady to go back-to-back. Remember, a year ago, there was never a team to host a Super Bowl game in their home stadium and play in that game. Guess what? Tom Brady goes to Tampa. We see that trend end. I wouldn't be surprised to see them go back-to-back because of his success at the quarterback position. Look at everybody that's returning. And one thing I can say about this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team, they're attacking this season like they did not win the championship a year ago. So I understand the favorites being the Kansas City Chiefs, but the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they should be right there. So that's the team I'm riding with, like I did last year when they signed Tom Brady, when Tom Brady signed with them. I'm doing the same thing. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Buccaneers' final game be played in Los Angeles.
Yeah, they're great. I have right now the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buccaneers rated the two highest teams in football. But the third highest team I have rated is the Green Bay Packers. And that's with Aaron Rodgers, obviously. I think he's playing for Green Bay. It's too late for him to go anywhere else and to build any. He wants to win. Aaron Rodgers wants to win right now, and he knows where he needs to be to win because he has continuity with his offense. His defense is absolutely loaded this year. I think Green Bay has a great chance to go 13-4, maybe 14-3 in the regular season. I think they have a shot to have the best record in the NFC and have home field and go through Lambeau this year. So give me the Packers at 16-1, and that bet is with Aaron Rodgers, obviously, but I think he's playing.
Did you see the odds there? You see who also had 16-1? Cleveland Browns at plus 1,600. I mean, right there. Yo, B-Mac, I'm curious from a player's perspective, right? So Kenny's talking about Aaron Rodgers coming back. Like, what's the reception going to be like in the locker room? Like, is it like we forget about it? Reconciliation is complete. Aaron Rodgers come on back. Like, what's that going to be like if, in fact, he does return?
About time. About time. We were waiting for you. No bad blood coming from any player. They're currently in the locker room with the Green Bay Packers because they know how much Aaron Rodgers means to their team, to their success, especially on the offensive side. So we understand there's a business outside of the game when it comes to being an NFL player. And one thing you cannot do, Hakeem, is get involved in another man's business. That has nothing to do with you. But whenever the sides come to terms on whatever it is they need to come to terms with, you're going to welcome him with open arms, and you should.
Yeah, you know who wants to see him is Devontae Adams and my guy Bobby Tunyon. They definitely want to see him back in that locker room. All right, we'll see how it all shapes out inside of 50 days until the start of a new NFL season. Kenny White, Bryant McFadden join us here on CBS Sports HQ to break it down as we take a look back at their NFL futures selections. Week 1. The kickoff game between the defending Super Bowl champion Buccaneers and Cowboys. Kenny and B-Mac both like the Bucs. Grab it now at 6.5. Kenny says there could be some line movement. May get to 7 there. Best wager for week 1. Kenny likes New England to cover 2.5 against Miami. B-Mac taking the point with the Washington football team against the Chargers. Best win total to go over this season. Kenny likes New Orleans over 9. B-Mac likes Tampa Bay over 11.5. Best win total to go under. Kenny likes Miami to go under 9. B-Mac likes Seattle to go under 10. And their pick to win the Super Bowl, Kenny likes Green Bay plus 1,600 with Aaron Rodgers. B-Mac picking the Bucs to go back-to-back. And for more awesome content from Bryant McFadden, check out his podcast, All Things Covered. B-Mac joined by Vikings corner Patrick Peterson every Tuesday. The 8-time Pro Bowler Peterson and 2-time Super Bowl champ McFadden discussing what's happening on the gridiron as well as what intrigues them off the field. All Things Covered. Download and follow today.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.